From Erie Zone Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host.
There we go. This is Councilman Kaz Kwiatkowski, and we'll be getting one of our cohorts coming in a little later, but for the time being, we have a phone call. We'll go right to the caller. Go ahead, caller.
How you doing, Kaz?
Good.
Who are you there with? Stemka? I don't have a TV on or the computer.
I'm with nobody right now.
Oh, I thought maybe Stemka's there with you.
No, he's on his way. I think the traffic around City Hall is kind of rough.
Oh, yeah.
There's...
I got a question about this water bill.
Go ahead.
I thought they were supposed to combine it with the water and the sewer. The water and the garbage. It's the sewer and the garbage. What's up with that?
Oh, that's the way it was intended. The water bill is separate because the Water Authority, they do our billing process. That's the way they wanted it. So the water, if you don't pay the water bill, you can get shut off.
I understand that, but it's not on your water bill. It's on your sewer bill.
Right. That was because we needed a hook to get people to pay the garbage bill, and the sewer bill was the hook.
The hook is supposed to be the water bill, though, isn't it?
Well, no, the sewer bill, you can be, if you don't pay your sewer bill or your garbage bill, the way the legislation reads, or the ordinance, if you don't pay your garbage bill, we can turn off your water, which is your sewage in effect.
Well, why didn't they just say we're going to combine your water and sewer then, instead of, because all the if you listen to the radio, the television, the newspaper, it was all we're going to combine your water and your garbage because then we can cut your water bill off.
Well, I think they misinterpreted what they meant to say was.
But he did.
I mean, that may have been what it was in the start, but as we got into the process, it became that the Water Authority wanted their bill separate, so that they had they could shut off water on their own if you don't pay your water bill.
Okay.
But if you don't pay your garbage bill, the city has the right now to turn you off because it's tied in with the sewer bill. And the way the ordinance reads, the garbage bill shall be taken care of first if there's a non-payment.
Okay.
So in other words, if let's say you pay your sewer bill but you don't pay your garbage, whatever you pay, it's going to be applied to the garbage first.
Right, yeah, I understand.
And
that.
then,
I was just curious as to why it wasn't combined with the water, and when all the talk was about combining it with the water.
Well, I think the water enters into it because basically we're going to shut off your water. We're not going to shut off your sewage.
And you're going to shut the water off.
Huh?
That's very clear. But the way they were talking was, when you got your bill, water bill, it should be the water and the garbage. But instead, it's just the water alone, and you get your water and your sewer. So they should have just said, well, we're going to combine your water and sewer. But to make it easier, probably for the people to understand, we're going to combine your water and and garbage. This way, if you don't pay your garbage, we'll shut your water off.
Right. Just that the authority and the city, after they talked about it, they figured the better way was combine the sewer and the garbage.
Right.
And so, it just has the same effect. If you don't pay, your water's going to be shut off. Not your sewage, but your water, which means, in effect, you're not going to have any sewage. So.
Because there's nothing to shut your sewage off. You just got to shut your water off.
Right.
I understand that.
Yeah. It should work out okay. We're getting, I don't think they've turned anybody off yet, but they've got a lot of people, what we were told at the last meeting, they're starting to pay up or make agreements,
Right.
And so that's what we try to do,
Is this show streaming on the internet?
It's supposed to be. They told me, I was calling with the gentleman that does it here. In fact, DJ will probably be on. I have him comment on it. But yeah, it's supposed to be streamed and it's supposed to be live.
Right. Well, I'm going to have to go on the What City website and see if it's on.
Yeah, if it's not, give me a call back. I'm curious.
I hooked it up and it was all I got was a commercial, but that was probably before you actually went on air.
Yeah, I think they're on. I think they're on YouTube technically.
Oh yeah, that's the taped ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the taped.
Well, here's DJ. I'll ask. Hey, DJ, why? This is right up your alley. Gentleman asked, "Are we streaming live?"
Yes.
Oh, did you hear that, sir?
It should be.
Yeah, I heard it. Well, let me see here. I got the City of Erie website. I hit City Council. Go to Government Access number 9. Ustream.
Yep.
Let's see what pops up here.
Is it behind a little bit or not?
It's a little bit behind.
It might be a little behind too, sir. So.
I'll have a black screen now. Nothing yet.
Well, Mike has
Tuesday,
heard, so he will check it.
The sponsor.
Your content will begin shortly.
Yeah, Ustream is free, so you may have some commercials.
Yeah, you have to choose a sponsor, and then you got to go through this commercial. I don't know how long this commercial is, but all right, I'll just hang up and watch.
Okay, and if you have any trouble, give us a call back.
Okay, thanks.
And thanks for your phone call.
All right, bye.
Yeah, the commercial, I mean, the last time I checked, you get like a minute 14 seconds, and then it's just the stream the whole time. So
I really don't mind it because, like when I listen to my ball games and stuff from exotic places, London, England. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Cass, did you ever go up there?
Yes, I did, and I have you on my list. In fact, I took some pictures, and I'm going to be gone for a week or so.
Yeah.
So what we'll do when I come back, we'll have to get together with EMTA. I'll try to work through the liaison, because I do agree with you. It's they made a little change to the right side, but not the left side.
Yeah, I know. That's really bad for that.
Yeah, it has a lot of water in there. I mean, even that day when I went, it was still some water in there,
Yeah, guy come right by. He splashed me up last Thursday.
Yeah, I was trying to watch. I was asking a couple people where the bus stops. I know that sounds funny, but, where they stop determine where you get on. So if you can't get on easy, you got to, traverse with your wheelchair.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll talk to, I don't know if the city's we'll have to talk to the city engineer, but I'll talk to EMTA and possibly TOPS and see if we can get something done. It's not much has to be done there, just a little bit,
There's a puddle there. Either they put some hard gravel there, and in the front, I wish they would blacktop all in the whole front of that bus stop. That would really be nice.
Yeah, it would be. So I'm not gonna forget you. So we'll get that taken care of. In fact, I'll try to call tomorrow, maybe. In fact, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get my Air Brothers and that to really do it.
Well, see if they're not being caught. They did it as a nicety last time.
Yeah.
But that's almost EMTA or TOPS has to do it.
Yeah.
Because that's really, when you look at it, it's an extension of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And it's not really a sidewalk, it's more like blacktop,
Right. They should blacktop it from the front of the bus stop to the road there. I mean, that would really look nice there.
Yeah, in fact, it is kind of gravelly, and it would be tougher if you had to get through there.
Yeah.
Not to mention if you got water in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of water there. There was a lot of water there last week because it rained, boy. And I tell you what, I had to practically go inside the bus stop itself so I don't get splashed up like I did the guy went delivery in the other lane, man, and he splashed me all up.
What we're going to have to do is put some pontoons on your wheelchair.
Huh?
We'll put some of those pontoons on your wheelchair. What do you think?
Yeah.
We'll make you captain.
Yeah.
You could float on that thing. That's a deep,
Yeah. Hey, I went by on State Street. It didn't look like they cut much of that grass over there on near 25th and 26th and French there.
Yeah.
It didn't look like they cut it very much, if they cut any at all. It's still high there. And I went over on the bus. I took the 24 over on the bus over and I rode out 18th Street. Mm-hmm. That high grass is still there.
Yeah, we have to turn it in again. We turned it in, but we're too nice to people. We have to start getting a little mean.
Yeah.
We have to start demanding.
Who's responsible for the grass on 12th Street by the Lord Corporation? Because when you're coming, I just came off the...
Whoever owns the property.
Came off of 79.
Still owns that.
Okay, if they still own
Unless
the
it's,
property.
is it Lord's or does the other?
Our sign that says "Welcome to the City of Erie" is completely blocked.
On 12th Street by Lord.
And the grass is tall all the way. As soon as you get off of 79...
Speaking of over by Lourdes on 12th Street.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if you come off of 12th Street up Green Garden, and you know that road before you pass the gas station, you go up there, you don't pass the gas station, you go up that road.
Yeah.
That's all high grass on the other side. That should have to be cut down too.
Yeah.
That's really bad there.
It was amazing. After everybody was complaining about the schools, all of a sudden the grass was cut there.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
You know,
you just have to jump on
some
people.
of the grass in that big field, you know, you go over the road and you go around the bend just before you get to Pittsburgh Avenue, that big field.
Yeah.
Well, they do cut some of it, but they don't cut it near the road. They don't cut it on none of that, all that, near the road there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the curb, at least 10 feet in.
I'm going to call Councilwoman Kunso because she's really miffed about that, and I won't be at the next meeting, so.
But ask City Councilman if she can get her husband, because he's in the landscaping. He probably could do all that too.
They would, if we had to pay them, they would say there was a conflict of interest, but you know, it comes down to the homeowners and really the city's got to start leaning property.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned that before on City Councilman. If the city's going to maintain them, they might as well put a lien against them where they couldn't sell the property until they pay the city back the money.
I will say I saw one piece of property. It looks real nice today, and I was going by the Vendetti property over there by the car wash on East 38th.
Yeah.
You been by there? Mm-hmm. It's all chopped down.
Yeah.
I think.
You mean on the east side?
Yeah, I think he's finally going to build there. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think his project's finally going to start. We're going to start building there.
Did you ever talk to the Port Authority about that down there by that just past the Bayfront?
I did turn it into him. Nothing happened yet?
No, I haven't been down there. I don't know if it has. I know the last time I was down there, and they never even touched it. And that grass is really growing high around that bus stop there.
That may be like Mr. Stemka said. That could be Nick Scott's property. We'll have to check on that.
Yeah.
Near that Don Smokestack down there.
But he owns the land around it.
On both sides of that street there, when you turn off the state into that road, both sides of that street, that all needs cut down.
Yep.
They only cut part of it. East of the smokestack, they cut that part, but west of the smokestack, they don't even touch it at all. And on the north side, where they have that bus stop, that's all high grass in there too. Even around the bus stop there is.
Yeah, grass is a problem. There's no doubt about it.
Well, get the Parks Department on it to cut the grass and charge them.
They're overloaded. Last year they couldn't even cut all of it.
How many people do they have working for the department?
Just the kids basically hire in the summer, but you got to remember they're also cutting our property.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's the first thing.
And one other thing I want to ask. Remember I asked you about the overhang at City Hall, that concrete by the roof?
Yeah.
Like on the lower part, where the office is on 7th Street side, the lower part, they clean some of it where it looks nice.
Right.
But they ain't clean all of it. It all needs all cleaned.
Yeah, they had window washers in here, but I didn't see the other one. I'll bring it up to Public Works.
Yeah, bring it up to Public Works, because if I went to Public Works, they're not going to listen to me.
Well, you never know.
I don't know.
Carry a big club.
Yeah, I don't know if they would listen to me, but they might listen to you, though.
Well, we'll bring it up to them. Thank you for calling.
All right, and have a nice vacation.
Well, it's kind of working vacation, so.
All right, have a safe trip.
Man, you get vacation every time I turn around.
What, when your kids live out of town? All my kids live. Nobody lives in Erie no more.
Warner Theater, that box office.
Yeah.
That needs a good clean. You got billions of millions of. Why don't somebody?
Wait a minute. Didn't somebody just paint that?
No, that brass, that whole.
Yeah, but I thought I thought somebody worked on that this last year.
That's all brass.
Go ahead, caller.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi, good.
You got high grass down in the park, Fair Square. Stopped at a red light there on the corner. I see 3 people sitting on a wall or passing their joint around. They were getting high on the grass.
That's the bad. You're right.
I know people who work down in the area, and they like to cut through the park. Go down Starbucks on a break or McDonald's or whatever. And all the characters that are hanging around there are smoking their weed and cigarettes and drinking beer and flicking the cigarette butts in a park. They're making remarks at the women down there as you walk through the park. I know it's a public park.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen down there because they're going to make a remark to some woman, and some guy's going to go down there and settle the score. And it's getting pretty bad. And they live down there. They're down there all day, sometimes up to 50 or more.
I think we need to have we need to bring back the bicycles, and we have a beat man once in a while. If he can get down through the park, the park, like when I was a kid, if somebody hung around the park, they were, shoot off real quick.
Oh yeah, move on.
Yeah, because, if you're sitting there, that's one thing, but when you start sleeping and everything else and...
oh yeah, I'm sure you've seen it down there.
There's no... people told me there was a lot of paraphernalia that'll go unmentioned.
Oh yeah.
That was in that gazebo. So, joints don't...
Right.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
They tore it up, now they're waiting to go back over to the west side.
Yeah, you can get a nice buzz over there walking by there.
Oh. I know, and like I said, that's a crime. The people downtown are working, paying taxes, and they're walking through a park and having remarks thrown at them.
Well, I agree with you.
I don't understand how this is even happening with the police department right here.
Well, the thing is, see, there's an old saying that if you're going to rob a bank, rob it right near the police station.
Why don't we?
Because they're out.
Why don't we have somebody go out there and just walk around?
That's what I was saying. We need to bring back a presence there every once in a while, because if you don't, like this gentleman says, if you're going to dinner at Bertrand's, okay, and you park around the park, and you got to walk through there, you may not get a parking spot right in front. Right. Do you want to put up with that crap?
No, not at all.
For your meal, wouldn't it?
Pardon?
That was for your dinner if you wanted to go to a restaurant down there.
Well, yeah, what if you just want to take a walk through the park and admire the fountain,
Absolutely, that's what it's for. And like I say, it is a public park, but it's not a place, to me, that's loitering.
Well, I agree with you. And when you're doing illegal acts, like,
Oh, yeah. And there's a lot of that going on there. And
there are people camped out there all night now.
That's right. And a lot of people drive there from other parts of the city. They'll go hang out all day. Well, I don't know. I hope something can be done about it, though, because like I said, a lot of the girls are avoiding going through the park on their break. Yeah. Another thing, Kaz, did you hear anything about the cobblestone down there? Any information?
No, I tried to check into it, and I was asking a few people. I think I'm going to have to call Tom Kennedy himself.
Yeah.
But nobody had an answer. I talked to all our people upstairs, people involved with different, nobody seems to know what's going on.
I don't know. I really wondered myself if somebody's being...
Harbor Creek announced the other day in the paper...
Is somebody hindering that operation? I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, but Harbor Creek announced that they're getting one. And, that was always the plan, that he was going to build a third one in Harbor Creek.
Yeah, right there at Penn State.
Yeah, but, I'm surprised. I'm going to work at it a little bit. I might have to just call Mr. Kennedy himself and ask him.
Yeah, well, like you say, in the outskirts of town, everything is being built in. Nothing is being built in Erie. Like I say, Nick Scott's avoiding Erie. He just built nothing here.
He's waiting for that...
but still, there's a reason why he's doing it.
Oh, yeah, when you think about it... I was riding around town the other day, and I was just counting the number of businesses that I saw that had left, and I think...
Oh, yeah, a lot of them.
I think there was like Holland Paint. There's another tile store on Parade Street that left, and I'm getting amazed that you're not seeing much coming in, though.
If you were wanting to open a business here in Erie, and you read the newspaper and see the TV, what's going on here, who would
want to.
Well, Dunn Tire moved out, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then now they moved into Harbor Creek, but they also have another one in Mill Creek, and I'm going, but then we get, what do you call it, O'Reilly Auto Parts came in.
Yeah, they have one on, out in Westerville, across from Erie County Farms.
Yeah, that's kind of like a wash for us, but as I look at some of these buildings, I mean, you're seeing them get empty, like.
Yeah, there's an O'Reilly's on West 26th Street, too. I've been in there.
But yeah, I'm noticing little by little, a couple businesses here and there moving out, and that's not good.
No, it's not, and then like I say, then the population's going down, and why would anybody have any incentive to move here or open up a business, you know? It's a crime. It's too bad, you know. It's really a shame what's happened here.
Well, we have to start, you know, I call one block at a time, and.
Yeah, I don't think there's no cure for it, and it's only going to get worse. I mean, you know, I wish it would, but
who takes care of that?
I'm old enough now, from when I was a kid to now, it would have changed.
I think you can change it, but it's going to take the problem is, and no one can answer this.
No.
If you clean up one area,
yeah.
what happens? I mean,
then move to another.
Yeah, I mean that's, you know, it's more of a systematic. You can try to eliminate a lot of it, but, you know, as far as the city's concerned, we got to worry about ourselves and try to clean up, you know, different areas slowly.
Yeah, but how do you clean them up? You know, like you say, they move to another place and they defy you. I mean, you can't ride down any of the streets here and they're walking across in the middle of the street. You blow the horn and you get all kind of filthy language tossed at you, and you don't know if you're going to catch a bullet. It's crime. It's just, I don't think there's a cure for it.
It's a societal problem. Nobody has any.
Not just in here, it's all everywhere. You know, it's just.
Yeah, I mean, people just don't have any manners. They don't have any. Sometimes I think, and I'll get in trouble for this, but they don't have work ethic. They don't have no pride in their house, their community. When you see, you know, you see a few people that are isolated, and they're surrounded by that, you feel sorry for them because they're trying to make their little corner of the world look nice, and all around them is despair and doom, you know?
What exactly you're talking about, but I really feel for the kids that are being born today. I'll be dead and gone to see what's really coming, but these kids that are born today are the real young kids. What's their future going to look like?
Yeah, people got to start, everybody's got to take control of their own neighborhood slowly, and that's probably the answer. But you know what? The problem is so embedded now that it's going to take courage. Physical courage.
Take over the neighborhood, you'll probably wind up with a bullet in you.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to take courage. You know, we could hire all the policemen in the world. We could send the army in there. You know, but in the end, it's you know.
A 14-year-old kid killing an 18-year-old kid. I mean, come on.
You see, like when you and I were growing up, you know, if we had an argument, we took it out around the corner somewhere.
Exactly.
Back in the alley, you know, you had it out and.
Couple hours later, you were friends again.
Yeah, you were, and by the time the bruises healed, you're back drinking pop together or whatever, eating ice cream, and then when you got older, you know.
I'm glad I was around to enjoy them days because I sure wouldn't want to be a 6-year-old kid today or anything like that.
No, it's tough on them, you know, and that's why we gotta start coming up with, and I'm not saying, you know, we need to get kids back into sports and all that stuff, keep them busy all summer. But the trouble is, a lot of their parents aren't supportive, you know.
What's this curfew? I mean, they're allowed to stay out till midnight?
Well, in the summer, it goes up, yes. I think it's midnight in the summer, and then in school they drop it back again.
I've never stayed out till midnight.
Maybe,
I better not go home if I did.
Well, you know what? Maybe that's got to be adjusted, but today you got all kinds of laws and rules.
When they took out the public school for the teachers not to touch the kids, that's when it all started to happen. Years ago, when the teachers couldn't say nothing to the kids, or say, before when I was a kid, he took you in the closed room and knock you out, you know.
Well, the police can't do nothing anymore either.
Cops can't do nothing either.
Oh, okay, I'm going to get out here and let you guys enjoy the rest of the day.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for calling.
Okay, bye-bye.
You ever find about West 8th Street of who's repaving that?
Who we what?
Who's going to pay that West 8th Street?
Go ahead, caller.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
Oh, I have a couple questions for you. First one is this. The last council meeting, you voted on a resolution to declare Lake Erie a federal...
No, we only voted to...
As a resolution.
To study it. And,
I thought you voted for a resolution.
well, the resolution was to apply an application to study the feasibility of it. There's a lot of studying has to go into it yet after that. Before I vote on it finally, I want to make sure there's no effect on, the commercial side either.
Somebody had to bring that up. Who brought it up? Brennan?
No, I think it was Mirsky.
And who seconded it?
Oh, you mean the resolution?
Yes.
Oh, no, I thought you meant who brought up the argument.
No, who brought up the resolution?
God. I'm trying to remember now.
I thought it was Brenneman.
It could have, yeah, I think he was.
I mean, is there anybody that's a liaison to Lake Erie, the water, and what effect it would have on fishing, on boating, on the whole shot?
Mm-hmm.
Why would we want to let the federal government take over Lake Erie?
Yeah, like I said, this is just to study it. It's not the final vote on it.
Oh, I know it's not a final vote.
Because they got to have public hearings.
When Dahlkemper was on, my God, everybody thought she was walking on water.
No, I want to see what it entails.
She came out and said it's great because of the shipwrecks and the kelp and all that, but it deters the local fishermen. Lake Erie would be controlled by the federal government saying how many amounts of this fish you can take, you can't take that fish or whatever. Right. I mean, we have the federal government in our lives too much as it is.
Well, like I say, once I see the report, I'm not saying I'll vote for it. We'll see what it does. If it inhibits in any way our shipping industry and all that, then I'm going to vote no.
Well, it's the whole thing of, to bring something up before it is even studied or looked into, this is wrong. I mean, sure, she's in a position that it's a feather in her cap, she thinks, and all this other spin off to what the federal government does.
Because Mr. Mirsky had some questions, and I was surprised when he said Don John was actually for it, so that kind of...
Well, Don John?
Yeah.
What do they do besides a little bit of ship repair once in a while?
Well, if this thing was as serious as they said it was, then that would probably inhibit shipbuilding and dredging of the harbor.
Well, that comes naturally anyways. That's already in there.
Yeah, but the dredging of the harbor could be stopped if...
yes, everything could be stopped.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised when Don John was on board, and I said, well...
somebody said that. I can't believe that.
Well, like I said, this is not a final vote. This is only to study it and apply for it.
It was like years ago, we had all kinds of fishermen down there and commercial and everything else. They'd be rolling over in their lockers. Well, I just thought I'd bring that up. I'm going to do a little research on this myself. I have one other question.
Go ahead.
What kind of revenue do we get from the parking fines?
The parking authority?
Fines.
Oh, the parking fines, we get all the parking fines, all of it.
I've never seen any statements of how much revenue we've gotten from that.
Oh, that's easy to find out.
Yeah.
I can tell you how much we budget, and I can check today.
You mean we budget for the fines? You mean we budget the money we're getting from the fines?
No, what we do is when we do a budget,
put it in general.
We anticipate how much revenue we will get from fines, and that's not an absolute. It's based on experience. Now, if we come up short during the year, it's the old saying is you don't spend.
You have to rob Peter then.
No, you don't spend what you don't have.
True.
In other words, if you see, nobody ever collects 100% of what they think. It's very rare. So
budget.
Right, it's very rare you collect every dime. For instance, we usually come with real estate tax. We're generally up around 92, 93%, which has been holding steady all these years. So when Sue gives us Sue DeVecchio gives us what she thinks, we're going to get, we base our budget on about 90-some% of that. And we usually come pretty close. With fines and applications for building, it's hard to say because you can't...
No, you might get more, you might get less.
Right, if people get smart, all of a sudden they don't pay their fines because they're not getting fines.
So they don't pay their fines. Yeah. I knew a gentleman who worked out of Ohio one time, and it got to the point where they said they were going to put out an arrest warrant for him.
Yep. Well, here what we found out was, you're talking about the study we had, right? With the parking authority?
No, I'm talking about, I understand they want an increase to change their metering and get back up to the 21st century.
Well, they want us to give a part of our revenue to help them.
Well, that's not what I understood.
What do you mean?
I understood they wanted to take the money that the people are paying in fines.
Well, that's what I mean. They want us to give up.
Well, that's not.
They want us to raise the fines about $5. Well, that was a suggestion. That's council can do whatever they want, but they would like us to raise the fines and have part of the fines.
A percentage going to updating.
Going to them for the express purpose of. But there's more to it. There's not only the meters are going to be upgraded.
Well, you're going to have a KISS area and all that where you can go and pay your fines there and the whole shop.
Right. Then we want to do it. We want it so it's computer accessible to pay your fines, on the internet. Plus, we want to get some of their people out into some of the neighborhoods where we're having complaints about parking at night, like especially up there in the college area.
Yeah, that's like spinning nails. I've complained about Poplar Street and all these other streets.
Well, the trouble is nobody's out at night. When the kids know this, they park late at night. They know nobody's going to get them till morning. So, your problem's already done. So what we want to do is they used to do it years ago, John. They had people go out at night, and they had different sectors covered.
If it's not returning, why pay these people a night shift and night premiums and overtime and everything else? If it's costing more to enforce.
Right, but I think, once we start fining them, you issue a few tickets, that'll take care of it.
So, but
they have a man on at night, so you could put another one if they got some revenue to fall back on to support it,
True.
But yourself, John, people parking up there all the time.
Oh, yeah.
These kids don't think nothing of a $25 fine.
Sidewalks and all that. I don't see why some of these police patrols, I know they got their hands full with all these little Tom Mixes out there, going by and they see this, why they don't pull over and write a citation.
I know they've done it a little bit, but it's not enough, and the neighbors are starting to, if we had a serious fire up there, I don't know how we get a truck up there.
Where's that?
Up around Briggs, Lewis, those areas.
Well, Briggs, you're talking Sunset Boulevard, all those streets where they have both sides parking, going the wrong way and everything else. And so, but I see another lounge and another chair and the couches was put out on 38th and Page.
Yeah, I jumped all over. I went right to after the show last week. I turned them in. I said, all you have to do is start out at State Street and head east on 38th, and then when you get to Pine, head south on there. You'll see them all over the place. So it was turned in. I'm going to bug them again because nothing has changed.
Well, this one just popped up, and they're putting signs up there free. Whether that is a deceptive move or not, but it's going to be like a garbage city.
And I turned in that one again about Glowacki. I think I'm going to have to call him.
That's where they threw that one out, right there.
My question about the furniture and stuff going out, why don't we send out somebody, pick it up, and bill the owner of the house? Why can't we just say, you threw it out when you weren't supposed to, we're going to bill you a certain amount if we find garbage in your front yard that doesn't belong there, furniture, TVs, whatever, all this crap people that throw it out.
I don't think we're allowed to issue citations.
Why not?
Well,
that's because
we're a third-class city.
Doesn't put any teeth in their regulations.
Well, actually, we found out, we've been talking about it. This council, John, give us a break. I think we are more receptive to some change. We were talking about, we're checking how Reading is doing it. Reading has their people. Now, they're the same class city we are.
That's the third, right?
Right. So they're issuing citations directly. For some reason, we don't. We issue a warning.
The reason is
then they go to the
people
district
sitting
justice.
up there with you.
Pardon?
That's the reason.
What's that?
The 7 people sitting up with you do not have the guts to put a law in.
I think this group will. We're looking at Reading, and when it comes to this year, at the end of the year, we're going to talk about revenue sources, and that's going to be my suggestion that we start implementing that, and
And the way to make sure they pay it is, since you're doing this thing with the water bills, is you just tag it onto their garbage bill. And that rides right along with what you've just done with the garbage and water. If they don't pay it,
I'm really pleased with the mayor that's going and looking about this sale of the water authority out there at the Mill Creek. I think it's a mistake for us to do that. They have us tied in for like another 25 years because council wanted to get their banana real quick.
Yeah.
And I think he's right to hold off on it, and I don't think he should go through with that deal.
Okay, John.
Have a good one.
Hey, I'll see you in a couple weeks, okay?
thanks for calling.
I have to announce I'm going to be gone for 2 Mondays. So.
Well, then so will I, because I'm not doing this on my own.
Yeah, you're going to be a leader. I'll be behind you.
You want to do it?
No.
There you go.
You're the man. I am not
If I
here.
give it to Stemka, he's liable to go ballistic.
Oh, man, I have all the cops running through here.
Yeah, you should probably just run reruns for a couple of Mondays.
No, I'm going to be gone 2 Mondays, but all my kids live out of town. That's a fact. I can't.
Yeah.
But how many officers do we have on the force now?
200 and... I'll get you the number.
How many wear gold shields?
Probably, if you probably more than we should.
Okay.
But that's...
But, okay. Now, how many people go on cruisers? Now, a lot of men just sit around here, and why can't they be out in the cruisers?
That's a matter of... unfortunately, in our form of government, that's the administration and the chief.
I think
they determine that.
Too many kids, especially this kid, 18 years old, got shot over by.
I don't particularly agree. I think we need more men on the street. This is why I want to.
I seen one officer walking around down State Street here.
Yeah, we do have a guy that was doing beat work. In fact, one guy volunteered for it, and it actually has a positive effect. This is what I was saying about like the park. Okay, if he makes a swing every hour or whatever, or 2 or 3 times he hits the park.
I'm behind that 100%.
And the bike guys too,
Why don't we have more beat cops? Why can't we?
And guys on bike.
Yeah.
Who figured out to put that park in? But it's kind of running up to the date.
The what?
You got the bike beat coming up this week, and then even that gazebo started. I mean, they got it started, but when are they going to get it done?
There was going to be no easy solution to getting that done. Okay.
Why, you get the money fund too late to get it started, or what? Or did somebody upstairs screw up?
Well, they've been working at that in phases. That project is not one pile of money, okay?
Well,
you got money for the wall on the other side, then you got money for some of the sidewalks, and you had money for landscaping. The money is coming in bits and pieces, but I mean, they got an early start on it. But the magnitude of that project, remember when they built the towers too, no matter how you figured it, somebody was going to get hurt this year, whether it be the Rib Fest, Celebrate Erie, all three. You can't build it quick.
Well, they should be putting some overtime or something to get that thing done so people can see what coming to Erie.
Well, and then people complain that we're spent too much on overtime. And remember, a lot of that's grant money, so
grant money, yeah.
You just can't go out there and start spending it on overtime.
Yeah, you can't pay payroll out of a grant, or usually.
Well, I mean, that covers like construction costs.
Yeah.
There's different grants that cover it, but in a lot of cases, they're not going to okay you to, you'd wipe it out quick.
Yeah.
Have you gone through that Parade Street where that bus terminal is going to be and see what they're building there?
I got the drawings at home. I've seen.
Boy, oh boy, they're going way out on that thing.
I drive by that every night on the way home, and I too would like to know what the end plan is.
It's a 3-phase project. I think they're, last I knew, they were just finishing up phase 1, which is the part by Parade Street.
Oh, is that nice? I mean, that's for high-class city. What
it is,
it's a bad part of Erie, you know.
What it is, it's entirely taken over, remember the old facility?
Right.
This new one's going to have a garage for maintenance, washing, parking for the buses. It's going to have a parking ramp for customers and employees both. So you can hypothetically drive your car there. From what I've been told, I don't think they're going to charge you. You can park there and then take the bus. And they talked about putting a grocery store in there. The one that's closer to French, there'll be some space in there that'll be available for retail and office. So it's an all-encumbering process. It's bringing everything under one roof. I think they're going to have fueling stations and everything there. So it's.
Well, what else are they do? What other transportation companies going to be using that area? Does it have anything to do with the train tracks that run next to it? Does this have nothing to do with that?
It's just EMTA, as far as
all
I.
EMTA.
That's a lot of money, $90 million.
Well, they got, once again, there's money from the government on public transportation. Now, the biggest one I saw prior to this was in Roanoke, Virginia. And they had a huge complex that, it was like what they called an intermodal downtown.
Right. Well, we have the intermodal.
That's a little different, but go ahead, caller.
Okay, as I think 18th and Liberty is going to be freed up, and the lift program is going over to 14th and French.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're going to, because the way I understood it, they want to bring everybody under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
So they're going to have their buses stored there.
But I'll tell you, I've ridden up Parade Street and looked over at that. It is quite a Taj Mahal. I mean,
and that's
it's a good-looking building.
But that's only what, 1/3.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I mean, they haven't even got to. Have they got to the old underpass there yet?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
They haven't got to where Miller Brothers was yet.
But it's a big, it's a big project. Unfortunately, those kind of big projects are for places that don't really create jobs. I wish U.S. Steel was building something in the city, or Ford Motor Company, or somebody.
Yeah, they might hire a few more people, but in the end, it's pretty much.
Yeah, you know what puzzles me, and I didn't think you were going to be on today, Cass. I don't know why. But
yeah, it won't be on the next 2 weeks, though.
But the parking authority, you're working with them to make it more expensive to make a little mistake downtown. Those tickets are already pretty expensive. So now you've got people that are coming downtown because they have business with whoever's left downtown. And then if they have a little hiccup, and I've had the opportunity to sit and watch the meter maids. Yeah. They're like vultures. I was attacked by one for parking next to the Renaissance Center for not even 5 minutes. My wife got out of work at 2:30.
Yeah.
I'd show up at 2:30. My wife would be there at 2:37 or 2:35, and then I'd take her home. And the reason why I used to take her and pick her up, because I didn't want her to have to drive downtown at 7 o'clock in the morning by herself, because I didn't feel safe having her down there. So I drove her to work and picked her up.
I think what you'll find out, though, is that when I go out of town, I don't carry quarters.
I know. There's better ways.
I don't. I have to struggle to find them, and I've gotten a couple tickets where I took my chance. But if I could have swiped my credit card, I think you're going to find the fines. What we're afraid of on council is that the fines will probably go down.
Oh, yeah.
So, but that's okay, because in effect, I think, like at nighttime, a lot of these people who come in, they're not really city taxpayers.
Yeah.
And they're partying and, so they're not feeding the meters. It is so, with kids today. Huh?
The meter's only till 6 o'clock in the evening.
That's right. At 6 o'clock, you don't have to feed them
You don't have to pay them.
On the street,
but
not.
The partiers don't have to.
But not in the lots or the ramps.
Lots, are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely. Lots and ramps are 24 hours a day.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, but you know what? It's no secret. Nobody's out at like 12 o'clock at night. There's probably no meter man out. Okay.
And the parking authority, I understand they don't have any money. They had to help. You had to help them get a bond for $3 million to fix up what they have. But Erie Insurance had to build a 900 stall parking ramp. That's 900 customers that the Erie Parking Authority turned their back on. The parking authority could have built that.
I wouldn't say they turned their back on them because
they turned their back on them because they're not fiscally sound, I guess.
No, Erie Insurance built their own ramp on their own accord.
Well,
I mean, I'll tell you what. Here's a prime example. When I worked for the parking authority, they had a big debate. Hammond and Vincent wanted parking ramps.
Right.
Now, in other towns, the hospitals build their parking ramps. And actually don't charge you while they charge you your bill. But, I've gone to Allegheny General in Pittsburgh when my wife was down there, and I got free parking. My son got free parking. No questions asked, right? Up in Erie, we had to... I remember when they built the parking ramps at Hammond and Vincent, the hospitals wanted some fluff in there.
Did they?
So they had to pay for the fluff. They had to pay for the... helicopter pad on top. They had to pay for the express elevator. They had to pay for the glass around the stairwells and the security system. But see, like the parking ramp was going to build it, it was going to be a vanilla ramp, okay? Vincent and Hammond wanted decorative brick, so they agreed to pay for part of it. But in the end, it was subsidized by the public. And we forget that when they built the ballpark, we forced the parking authority to build that ramp behind the Renaissance building.
Okay.
They didn't want to. That's not a money maker. But we got that was our matching funds for the ballpark. And when we also tore down the Central Mall, it was the parking authority that took it down. Kaz,
okay, I'm still not convinced that Erie Insurance Exchange needed to build that parking ramp.
No, they didn't, but I'm wondering if they built that in conjunction, when they had talks that they wanted the arena named after them, so they may have made a deal. Hey, you park there at night, you're paying $1 or $2 more for an event than you do at the parking authority.
But here's another source of potential income that they can't service. It's the people around the courthouse and the Gannon kids.
Well, there again now. I'm going to correct you.
Fifth and Peach.
Do you remember when they wanted to build that ramp?
I kind of do, yeah.
And the one holdout was McDonald's.
Yeah, I remember that.
McDonald's wouldn't let them have their property.
They get every break in the world to run these little enterprises. I don't care. You mentioned the water authority. How much are they going to throw at Mill Creek to get 5,000 more customers or however many more customers? And then you got the parking authority, which they're struggling.
Yeah, but I'm going to say this. They're in good shape. I attend the meetings. They're financially solvent.
The parking authority?
Yeah, they're solvent, and they do that by ticking people off, okay? Because they do their job well, which is they raise rates when they have to. And let's face it, we force them a lot of times as a council and as administration. We tell them, you have to build parking ramps. I can remember when they studied them, they didn't always want to build them, but city council at the time and Mayor Tullio and all them said, we need ramps downtown, so they had to build them. When you build a ramp, you got to fund it. Now, they have never once come to the city for money. In fact, they give us $500,000 a year. And of all the employees at these authorities, guess whose employees aren't unionized?
The authorities aren't?
the parking authority.
Nope. And guess who's got the lowest paid administrator?
Yeah. Oh yeah, parking authority. Well, I know they don't throw money around down there.
Yeah, I mean they're very.
The water authority, well, he gets paid.
Yeah, I mean think what Ray Massing takes care of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And think what Casey Walls takes care of.
Oh yeah.
Now which one is worth more?
Yeah. Well, you know my opinion.
I mean, he's got a 3-building complex.
I mean,
Casey Wells. He's got a 3-building complex. Ray Massing has, God, how many employees he's got, plus all the ramps, and he's got to take care of them and maintain them, plow them.
And Casey Wells has all kinds of people doing the hard work. I mean, Casey Wells is really just a figurehead when it comes to, the Sheridan is run by some group. Events, bringing events to town. He has helpers doing that. I mean, he's just kind of I wouldn't mind having his job my damn self.
Oh, no, I mean, but...
It's like the mayor upstairs. He sits back and has everybody do his work for him.
Oh, yeah.
I think what do you call it? I think Perry Wood gets more money than Ray Massing.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, we pay him a lot of money to write some checks.
Yeah, what's he do? He just sends checks out, right?
Cass, I got another little bone to pick, and I'll say this to anybody. I went Thursday night to Sonia Arrington's little
yeah, I saw you there.
Get together, and I sympathize. She's got if she's going to stick with that task, she's got a huge mountain to climb. But Kathy Dahlkamper was there, the DA was there, and Kathy Dahlkamper's assistant, who really runs the nuts and bolts of the county government, he was there. And then I look at my mayor. He's there, and God bless the police chief, because I think he does a wonderful job. I really do. I think he's doing a great job, and he's only got 173 employees, I think, Cass.
Yeah, I thought it was 200, but I guess I'm off.
I think it's 173. But the person who really should be running, who makes sure City Hall functions on a day-to-day basis, and you know where I'm headed, is Jill Beck. We pay her $80,000 a year, and she wasn't there. That ticked me off. And I know why she's not there. She's running home to Edinburgh, because that's where she lives. She don't hear the bullets. She don't hear the police cars. If you've got a responsible job running my city, I want you to live in my city. I want you to sleep where I sleep. I want you to eat where I eat. This monkey business where all these people run to the suburbs is wrong. And I know you can tell me it's arbitrated and it's this and that. Not her job.
No, you're. Well, we do have a. We do.
Job. That should be a city person. And believe me, we could find somebody with all the credentials, everything necessary to do that job, and probably do it better. Because I'm not impressed when I see her at your council meetings.
I think.
Not prepared.
When I was on the school board, I was amazed when they did a little survey of where employees live.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. And somebody I read somewhere where I go over to my kid's house in Mill Creek. I ride by a couple, 3 police cars, and it's like parking the car in the middle of the thruway down south. They just put an empty car there.
Yeah.
Traffic down. Well, if all these police cars that go to the suburbs were sitting around Erie, it might make people think twice about doing something bad. And we got to go after these simple little fixes.
Yeah, we have a 15-mile rule. That's.
And I know it was union binding arbitration and that kind of thing.
I think they took them years ago. I think they took them to court.
Yeah.
But now I think I've read where some towns are challenging it now.
Yeah. But it sure would be nice. I wouldn't mind having a cop living next door to me.
Well, I think the only people who really live in the city now, except for a few employees, are your elected officials.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All those people at 6th and State can't even vote for you.
No, that's why I'm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I laugh when people write in about they all want to come downtown, have a good time, watch the fireworks, and then they drive off to the suburbs.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Erie, but not enough to live in it.
And Kaz, I mean, I know I sound like a constant complainer, and I harp about the same things, but but nothing's changing. And if anything was starting to change, and I saw an emphasis on making Erie turn this corner we're at, I'd shut up, because I wouldn't want to stop anything from happening. But nothing good's coming. We need.
I admit I don't know the answer, but we're going to have to sit down with.
Oh yeah.
We're going to have some heavy brainstorming sessions,
yeah.
and not with just experts, with with people.
Common sense. That's all we need.
Yeah, and a lot of it's, like you said, common sense stuff. How the hell did we lose Zern's corporate headquarters to some place in Milwaukee or wherever the heck they went? I mean, that's crazy. Those people, you don't realize how many people that really affected. The executive secretaries, they aren't going to Milwaukee. They're just going to be on an unemployment line and unable to find another job.
Yep. Hey, I'm going to try to get another caller in before you leave, okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kez.
Oh, that's okay. We'll catch you in a couple weeks.
Hey, have a nice vacation.
You too.
Actually, I'm going to...
You want to make a comment?
And I have some questions and some things I actually want to know about.
Okay, let's go.
What would be the advantage of taking back some of the authorities, and is that something we could do?
Well, you have to remember, you have to assume their debt now.
Yeah, like I said, the water authority.
That's the bad part. Okay? You would have to assume their debt.
Like the water authority, Summerheim was $40 million for a project they really didn't need. But now, if we take it over, we have to assume that $40 million debt. That's why I think he did it, so the city would be stuck with it. See?
So that's the bad part.
Assuming they all have some form of debt.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
Now, like even the parking authority, what he was mentioning, they have debt, but they're managing it. Okay? There are some places that are managing it, other ones, if they're not managing it, okay, now you got a problem, okay?
Yeah, well, you said they were solvent, so if
Well,
they
what I mean by that is they have the ability through their rate structure and everything that, they're making their payments, they're retiring their bonds slowly, but, if you want to build a new ramp, you're going to get another bond, okay? That's a fact, okay? Just like the, water authority, if the more they improve, they're going to create debt, they're going to pay their old debt off. Right. Like we pay bonds off, we paid a couple off.
Yeah.
But the thing is, then we incur more because... So if you assume them, okay,
right,
then you got to take them back. But
in the long run, once those debts are paid off, would it behoove us to actually be in charge instead of having authorities?
It probably, if it was done properly. Now the problem was in the old days when the reason why they created authorities was because city government did not show the propensity to be able to handle it. The zoo was a mess.
Right.
It was a smelly mess.
Yeah.
Okay? When it was under the Parks Department or whatever it was,
right.
They didn't have the ability to so by giving it to an authority, sure, which later became they gave it to what they called the Park Authority, not parking. Right. And the Park Authority created the Zoological Society, which created their own funding source by going out into the community, getting people like John Lyons and different people.
So they could focus on their own thing, go off on a path, and some of them did well.
And the Parking Authority, they had some incidents where there was money being thefted and stuff like that. So when the authority was formed, they were formed for the to independently build ramps and to be able to we gave them the authority to raise funds to pay for those ramps through fines and everything else. And
as
parking
it stands
rates.
Right now, then, are things better off with the authorities as they
if the authorities stay within what they're supposed to do? But when they become, like right now, I mean, public would say they're paying much too much on, administrative salaries and all that. And
right.
They're going nuts on a lot of things. Okay, like, when we created like the Civic Center Authority. It was for the express purpose of building the arena and stuff. Now we're building hotels.
Yeah.
We're getting into stuff we shouldn't, maybe.
Like now, that authority, you want to have authority for that communication center that they're trying, they're going to already got it, $27 million. They want an authority, so what we're going to do is get 7 guys or friends and put them on each one of them, give them authority, get a nice hunk of money. Then who's going to run the authority?
Well, look at the MTA now. They're in this battle about they want to They want more representation from the county, and so now the city's being made irrelevant. We formed them. Most of the people that ride the buses are from the city. We're taking business out to the county. We're actually hurting ourselves because the buses go out to the mall and stuff. And then you turn around and you look at the whole concept of, the EMTA, trying to think, I had a comment I was going to say, but when you look at it, they're kind of stepping over the line now.
They are.
Okay, well, in our last moments here, I just want to say thank you for having me on board. I'm sorry I was late. My hair's probably a mess.
That's okay.
I've been riding my bicycle. This is the second time I've ridden it since I got it a month ago. But thank you, and I guess we'll miss you for a couple of weeks, but when you're back, I'll be back.
Unfortunately, my kids have all left the city for job reasons.
That's the way it's going on.
Yep, and none of them are close, so I have to.
All right. Well, we'll enjoy the rerun for a couple of weeks, and then when you're back, I shall return. Because I have lots of things I wanted to talk about today, but you had a lot of calls.
That's good, but
I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to talk about things next time.
Okay.
I have stuff.
Hey, Ronnie, thank you.
I was even quiet today for you.
Very good. Very good. I applaud you. Okay. We
All
are
right.
done.
Have a beautiful week.
Yes.
Weeks.
I was going to say somebody. I know, but I'm trying to.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Taxpayers Hotline Show on Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9.